India Kitchen Congress Award.
Ash Lohia, Managing Director, Merino Industries.
Thank you very much. I feel highly honored.
And also thank Skill India.
Thanks IKC for organizing culture.
I would also like to thank our industry partners.
Today, I'm brimming with.
Thank you, Samir bhai, for your vision.
Name of the winner for IKC.
Humility, I accept this on behalf of my
kitchen design collaboration.
to announce the
Keep great indeed. Thank you, Architect Ponni.
I'd like to dedicate.
Next category is the Kitchen Designer Award 2020. This award recognizes the designer of the most impressive modular kitchen during 2019. We're very happy to have with us architect Ponni Concessao, principal architect of Oscar and Ponni Associates. Good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome to Indian Kitchen Congress Awards. What are the latest design features that are trending these days, that are popular, the design features for today's kitchens?
First of all, thank you for having me in your show. It's a great pleasure to be part of the IKC event. Well, 2020 has been a very different year. It's been the year of, especially where kitchen design is concerned, it's been the year of function, aesthetic, and technology, and most importantly, COVID-19. COVID-19 has been a very great game changer in my mind, and has had a great impact on how homes operate, how people work. This work from home concept has been really big, and guess what? Work from home means that both spouses stay at home and work, and the kitchen has become such an important element. The kitchen has become the extension of the family space. So we as designers have now understood that we need to create spaces for children, for spouses to be part of the kitchen. There are children's nook areas, there is spouse tiny workspace area, so if the family can function as a whole. Also, the use of antiviral and antibacterial materials have picked up a great space in the design page. We have to use a lot of antibacterial paints, countertops, hardware, electrodomestic items are now touted to be antibacterial. We have kitchen tiles that are antibacterial. And the other concept is a sustainable kitchen concept where one has to use eco-friendly materials. Kitchens have to be connected to the grey water system, the solar energy system. So these are all new features. And of course, the storage in a kitchen has become a very, very important factor because there's this new segment called universal design. And universal design means that every element of the kitchen should be linked to differently able people. I'm talking about disabled people, geriatric people. And Indian homes, as you know, 3 generations work in one kitchen. The older generation, the middle-aged generation who actually work and earn money, and of course the kids. So I think it's become a very, very interesting yet challenging area. And another important feature is technology. Each and every electrodomestic item in your kitchen will be linked to your cell phone. You can preheat your kitchen while you're leaving back to home. So these are going to be very, very new elements that are going to pop into 2020 and beyond. And of course, the central island of any kitchen has taken great importance because now that has become the new dinner table. That has become the new communal space. So I'm foreseeing, the kitchen design as such to go through a great evolution to make it a more functional space, a more aesthetic space, a more healthier space. So these are the different trends that are happening as we speak.
All right, ma'am. I would request you to please announce the name of the winner in this category.
I'm very proud to announce the IKC Kitchen Designer Award 2020, and that goes to T.S. Saravanan of Arkie Atelier Design India Private Limited. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am, for announcing the name of the winner. And we have the winner, Mr. Saravanan, with us. Congratulations, Mr. Saravanan. How does it feel to receive this award?
Well, thank you very much, Anisha. It feels great indeed. Thank you, Architect Ponni, my senior from college.
Yes.
Very nice to get announced or receive an award from a person like Tony, senior Oscar and Ponni, and Oscar has been my good friend in college days. It's a great opportunity to be here, and I thank Brace Corporation, I thank Mr. Deepak Gupta, and I thank Indian Kitchen Congress for recognizing and calling us to, give us an award on Designer of the Year for Kitchen, and selecting our kitchen for this very coveted award. Thank you very much. Yeah. I do have a presentation. If you think I could go ahead and share it with you. Okay. Starting with the planning concepts, what we adopt. Yes, we have been into a lot of large-scale projects across the country in the past decade, and it feels really great that we are getting recognized for even we have been into however big the scale of the project could be. We have been into detailing of each and every small space that is involved into the project. So, be it a bungalow, be it an apartment building, where the kitchens are the most important aspect. So we go into the detailed aspect of the planning, and here, while we take the planning aspects of the kitchen, I also have got a little bit of analysis on what we do, or what kind of a planning concepts we do adopt in detailing our kitchens. This has a little bit of presentation on the overall planning, the design aspects and concepts of the kitchen, and then the sustainability that needs to be adopted in the kitchen, and then the material used and the latest technology which is available and accessible to us from across the globe to us today, and what are the aspects in execution that we need to really take into account in order to ensure safety, hygiene, and longevity of these kitchens. And lastly, but not least now, today it's most important, what could be the COVID suggestions in designing a kitchen or in laying out a kitchen. What are the few things which we really need to alter in the way we think in designing a kitchen. So, getting onto the kitchen for which we have been selected. This is the kitchen which is in Bangalore, Dollars Colony. It belongs to Mr. Shekhar. Why specifically I have chosen this kitchen for this award and sent it across is, I will come back to that at the later part of the presentation. This is a large open area where dining and kitchen are integrated together, and this is the main kitchen, and there is a huge window which overlooks into the lawn on this side, and a little bit of a breakfast counter. As far as we look at the kitchen, the design of the kitchen, the best designer for a kitchen is the end user, whether he or she, whoever it may be, because that's a person who knows exactly what they want. As a designer in a kitchen, I think we all turn into an integrator, or rather try and do what exactly the user needs and provide them or integrate the needs of the user and bring that into reality by using all the available latest technology, latest available materials, and bringing in such a way that it is aesthetically pleasing and easily usable. Looking at the layout, it's of course conventional U-shaped, of which one side is completely open, and then work triangle is so carefully designed in such a way that the cooking range and the sink are in line, because this is an area where there's a lot of water spillage could happen. This is the maximum movement area, and then from the refrigerator to the sink to the hob is closely maintained in such a way that the time moving between these three important elements in the kitchen is minimized. And the U-shaped kitchen also helps in accessing any part of the kitchen for while the cooking or any activities happening here. And combining this, and then the layout is completely secluded from the rest of the house, which means is that if you have to get into the dining or if you have to get into the kitchen, you just it is only for eating or only for making preparing food. That's the way it is isolated from the rest of the house. The rest of the house happens here. I do have a plan of the house, quick glance of plan of the house. That's how it looks here, and with very good natural lighting and also lights brightly lit, and then the lighting aspect, which has been taken with minimum required lux levels, have been calculated and maintained with the help of the manufacturers of the lighting people, and of course all the whatever we have, the fixtures we have used for all the latest in technology, and then that's a look across the kitchen so that it gives a not so boring. I mean, the kitchen, we look at it as a space where you don't really get bored, like Ponni was suggesting some time back. You should the way one looks at Indian kitchens really changed. The whole family gets together, it becomes a meeting place. This open concept of the dining and this it really helps us in making this into a space where the family has its own private time, and then they have a good easily accessible cooked food across, moving into the kitchen from the dining area. These are some of the elevations, and then as we go on to the usability and comfort, optimal storage spaces without cluttering, and then easily accessible, in fact, and clear definition on preparation, cooking and cleaning spaces. There are no unwanted projections, sharp edges, which is mainly meant for safety of the kitchen and to make it kitchen child friendly, because we just heard Ponni saying the third generation as well is used to moving around in the kitchen. And whatever we have used in this one looks like easily maintainable, and there is not too many projections, not too many offsets. It's clean, modern and contemporary and straight line concept kitchen. Going on to the next, on the products, we have had the industry stalwarts here from Heritage, from Siemens, and Frankie, and people from Powerful Kitchen. And the reason I said we are mostly integrators, because here most of these manufactured the items which we have from different companies, we have carefully integrated them into our kitchen to ensure that it fulfills the need, it fulfills the requirement of the kitchen. First, the kitchen, all these items or whatever we are shown is are all used in the kitchen, which is shown. And also concepts like not having any protrusions which will affect this kind of handle profiles, which is visible, no hidden spaces, no nooks, corners, which is easy to maintain. It becomes antibacterial, and it's easier way to maintain. And some of the materials what we have used in this kitchen, the countertop and the breakfast countertop and the veneer is shown here. Different materials. The kitchen cabinets are grey in color with tuco, and the floor marble is this is the marble which we have used, and the countertop granite is here, and the wall laminates and whatever we used, and there's a combination. Even though there are too many materials seen, but then it is integrated in such a way that it's soft and it looks pleasing to the eye, and it becomes a space where a person would like to spend more time rather than just getting into the kitchen for cooking and getting into an old way of a claustrophobic kind of a kitchen. This is more modern, more clear, with a well lit, well ventilated, and with a good relief to the eye. That's the kind of kitchen which we have aimed at here. Before I this is the why I chose the kitchen. This kitchen we chose for sending into the awards to India Kitchen. Is that this is one COVID era. We are all talking about hygiene and how well we can maintain the kitchen and how well it can be secluded away from the rest of the house. Which means when there is a circulation in the house, I mean if it's an apartment or it could be an independent villa, when there is circulation into the house, as far as possible, if we are able to plan it in such a way that the kitchen and the dining area are totally secluded, what it means is you move into this area only for dining and kitchen activity, nothing else. You don't go through a kitchen to go into a utility space, or you don't go through a kitchen to go into a backyard of a house. We have all the utility happening at the back. So this kitchen is absolutely purely for cooking and purely for eating, and then family to get together and a little bit of relief from there. A lot of natural light flowing in, and that's it. Garden, the little lawn which is visible through the dining area, which is also visible through the kitchen. Moving on to continuing with the COVID suggestions, we recently read some article written by Ponni, I think, in India Kitchen. This is just an extension of whatever they said about COVID thoughts. As far as possible, we are able to have handle-less kitchens as far as possible. If we're able to, recently there are some literature which we have come across which has ultraviolet lights inside the handles, where touch surfaces are immediately sanitized. There are no viral infection. I mean, if it is possible, if it's within the budget, definitely we should go for it. This kind of handle-free kitchen becomes easier to maintain. And then the copper is one element which is really antibacterial, which has been used for a long time in Indian kitchens. In between, we have moved on to stainless steel, but copper is supposed to be antibacterial. So as far as possible, we are able to use copper taps and copper fittings. It may be that the antibacterial, and it becomes antiviral for touch. It doesn't retain any viral deposits on the surface. The copper kills away. That's what the Indian kitchens used to in the olden era. And then coming on to the planning aspects, as far as possible, in today's kitchen, mostly in apartments and independent bungalows, the kitchen is essentially attached to a service area where the washing machine or the garbage areas, collection areas maintained. Now, a little suggestion would be, as far as possible, we should avoid the planning to go through the kitchen into the service. Maybe we could have a separate entry for the service area from outside, so that the kitchen is totally isolated from such space to ensure hygiene inside the cooking area. Or in case we are not able to achieve this, maybe some of those elements where today when you come back from outside with the COVID situation, you're supposed to soak your clothes into go for a wash straight away, soak your clothes into soap water. In such a case, you do not want to carry those clothing into the kitchen, or having a washing machine inside the kitchen. Maybe it is kept away. Suppose somebody who doesn't have enough space within the kitchen to house the washing machine or dryer, probably they could have it in front of a common toilet lobby, or a different space or a balcony, where it doesn't necessarily take the clothing, the soiled linen or the dirty clothing into the kitchen. That's one of the planning aspects I think we all need to really look at and change the way we lay out our kitchens. And moving on, before I end this presentation, I leave it leave you all with a thought on what could be a right kind of a kitchen based on the design concept. It should be spacious, brightly lit, and well ventilated. And what about the visual and aesthetic comfort here? It should be a relief to the eye, non-claustrophobic. It forces somebody to stay for a longer time rather than thinking that I just want to finish up and move out of this kitchen. It should be rejuvenating to the mind. It should be colorful and vibrant, so that all sections of people love to use it. And when it comes to the anthropometry, the right height of the counter, what is the standard for right corner of the counter? Many of our clients come and ask, I say, what is there is no standard for the height of the counter, even though we have anywhere between 80 centimeters to 90 centimeters. What could be the right height of the counter is just what the user is comfortable about. So we normally even sometimes get into measuring their existing kitchens and ask them, are you comfortable? Would you like to have it slightly more, rather than the designer putting in a standard 80 centimeter or 90 centimeter kitchen. It is best that the user says, this is what I'm comfortable with, and we normally believe that we should stick to what the user. This is where I said we become more of an integrator rather than a designer. The user really knows what exactly the user needs inside the kitchen, and then there are products which are available. Then we just put it into a coordinated manner as an integrator, and then bring in a good aesthetic effect as architects into this. So we should keep that in mind while we design the kitchen, and make it as far as possible brightly lit and easily reachable and accessible windows, so that it's easy to clean, open, and close. So natural ventilation is ensured. And as far as the hygiene aspect is concerned, we should look at kitchens which are antimicrobacterial, fungal, and then easily visible and maintainable spaces. There are no nooks and corners. Drains well sealed. This is one area, the cupboard drains, what we use in kitchens, normally which is overlooked. A beautiful kitchen which is designed with a good water supply and ventilation, normally it is overlooked, where the kitchen drains after going through an alteration. Suppose somebody has bought an apartment and a kitchen designer is given to redesign the kitchen, and suppose the position of the sink or something is moved from the given position. The drain position, if it is not ensured in a proper manner, it's not going to be hygienic at all, which is going to encourage cockroaches to come in. Which what it means is needs to have a water seal with properly laid out flow drains, which has we call it nani trap. This is an aspect which is mostly overlooked in Indian kitchens today. I think everyone should give enough attention to this, so to ensure that the outside ventilation, the outside drainage systems are properly water sealed and not allow any bacterial infection or cockroaches to flow in. And then when it comes to sealanting, which is another most important aspect of the kitchen, we all put in beautiful imported kitchens in place, and there is a gap always between the floor and the skirting board, and this is something where easy invasion of termites, easy invasion of insects, which can get into these gaps, and they can become a real menace over a period of time. So as far as possible, wherever we put in our kitchen, where it meets with the civil work or where it meets with the tiling or the marble, it should be sealanted, and enough scoop should be provided in our cabinets to flush in the sealant so that it's 100% airtight and no disturbance happens. There is no possibility of a termite or insect moving to that. And of course, safety is another aspect where multi-storied building use gas cylinders, and smoke sensors becomes really essential today. We need to ensure that the gas connections, if there is something faulty and if there's a leakage, it immediately triggers. Yes, this is especially an important aspect to look at multi-storied kitchens, multi-storied apartments. Of course, no sharp corners for children. And then durability, as far as durability is concerned, the material available is plenty today in the market. I mean, I've been in the field for the past 30 years. In the last 10 years, tremendous approach to global materials available has come into India. I mean, we are able to access whatever we want from across the globe. Of course, there are major players like Godrej who are making Indian kitchens. We are able to access materials. So we should look at materials which are really long and durable, which serve the purpose, and not just go in for products which are, some kitchens we would like to put in a wine cooler. If really somebody is going to use a wine cooler or no, we cannot know. So microwave and oven, of course, has become a basic essential after COVID. The hob and chimney, we have plenty of players. We have very good. We have heard a lot of stalwarts talking this afternoon. The number of products, the range available, the right range is chosen and then provided to the kitchen, so the end user is happy. And then quality workmanship, of course, and then whatever we use inside the kitchen should be high density material. Be it, I think we should avoid using MDF boards, in place of which I think we should use HDHMR board, high density, high moisture resistant boards is what we call it, which is absolutely termite proof, which is absolutely it has a density where there's no possibility of any insects or any moisture attacking into the ply. We should look at other materials as well, which are as much long lasting and durable as well. And easy for future adaptability, because every other year or newer products are launched and somebody wants to change over, it should be easier for us to change the furniture, the appliances used in the kitchen, for making it more modern. That should be another aspect of design. And use of technology, of course, to the extent possible, like connecting the various appliances in the kitchen to your internet, and then try with as far as possible, it should be connected with the wireless. You should be able to operate this from the mobile phone. That kind of a technology, and then use of other technologies as well, wherein the higher level cabinets are easily accessed, and with available hardwares, we should be able to utilize the maximum available technology. These are the kitchen basic design concepts which we should keep in mind, and that brings us to the end of this presentation. I once again thank Brace Corp and Indian Kitchen Congress for giving us this award. Thank you very much, everyone.